George, thank you very much, and thank you for attending fellow, or not fellow, but members of the MAC users group. As George mentioned, I was working at Best Buy in Naples probably about a month or maybe 2 months ago, and George immediately asked if I would be available to speak. I checked it out with my line management, and they said, sure, absolutely. I work on a contract for Hewlett-Packard with a company called MarketSource. MarketSource and HP have enjoyed a multi-year, long-standing relationship. To the HP direct employees, we would be known as the extended sales force. I've been with MarketSource for 21 years on various contracts, multiple years with Sharp Television, multiple years with Windows Windows Phone, and for the past 3 years I've been assigned to Hewlett-Packard. The Instant Ink program has been about 6 years running. It began with 3 inkjet printers, and since its inception there is over a 95% retention rate. Some stores will tout even 97%. That means 95% of everyone who has started this plan have stayed with it. There are no startup fees, there's no exit fees, and we all know that inkjet ink is extremely expensive, number one. And number two, it runs out at the wrong time. The Instant Ink was created to solve both of those problems. The short story of it is that when the ink is low, the printer will order ink. We began with 3 programs. 3 more have been added that won't be on videos that I'll describe. It's appropriate for anyone who uses inkjet, and including Mac. All our printers are going to work with Mac. Our printers get data 4 ways: with a cable, if it's connected to a Wi-Fi network. They have an email address that you can email to, and they also create their own hotspot to any Wi-Fi discoverable device, such as a phone, tablet, laptop, or Wi-Fi discoverable desktop. Up to 5 simultaneous users can be connected wirelessly to our printers without being on a Wi-Fi network. We call it Wi-Fi Direct. I think it's slightly misnomered because when we say Wi-Fi, people jump to those paid services. It really is a hotspot that the printer creates. So I have 4 videos to show real quick, and I'll give you an overview. And I'm new on George's MacBook because my PC printer, I couldn't get to work.
No, your PC.
My PC notebook. Let's get this going.
Wait a minute, you need sound.
Yes.
Carl.
Sound isn't on.
Right on time for
Oh,
life.
she's got it on mute.
With our free printing plan.
See?
Print 15.
Can you make it louder?
It's on
Send
mute.
15 free selfies, recipes, or reports. Instant Ink brings simple printing full circle. 1. Pick your plan. 2. Get ink when you need it. 3. Change or cancel anytime. Find the perfect plan and sign up today. Print more, pay as you go, or upgrade. Print less, unused pages roll over. Color, black and white, cost the same. Shipping and recycling included. Instant Ink connects all the dots. Moms, dads, students, startups, it hits the spot with everyone. HP Instant Ink.
That's 1. 2. Some of these are going to duplicate the data. They offer a slightly different spin to it.
Ever notice the only time you run out of ink is when you really, really need to print? Then it's drive to the store, search for the right ink, fork out the cash, and race back home. But you can skip the whole ordeal with Instant Ink. And voila! Less expensive cartridges that hold more ink show up before you run out. Plans start at just $2.99 a month. That's up to 50% in savings on ink. And delivery is always included. Plus, upgrade, downgrade, or cancel anytime. Best part? With HP Instant Ink, every page you print costs the same, whether that's tons of color or black and white. So you're free to print lab quality color photos of a fan, that term paper on the other empire. Budgets you're totally gonna stick to this time, without thinking twice. So save money, save time, save sanity, and never run out of ink again. Get your HP printer and join Instant Ink today.
Here's an idea. Save up to 50% on ink and never run out again with the HP Instant Ink Replacement Service. Signing up is easy. First, buy any HP Instant Ink eligible printer at a participating retailer. Then, choose a monthly plan based on the number of pages you print, not the amount of ink you use. Plans start at just $2.99 per month. We'll mail HP Instant Ink cartridges right to your door. Shipping and ink are included in your monthly plan. Your printer tells us when you're low on ink, so your next ink cartridge arrives before you need it. And HP Instant Ink cartridges are larger than XL cartridges, so you'll replace them less often. Your plan is flexible, so you don't have to count pages. Unused pages roll over to the next month, and additional pages are easy to add. Plus, change or cancel plans online at any time. We even include postage paid return packaging, so you can recycle your used cartridges. Even better, with HP Instant Ink, you can realize the same convenience and savings for your small business that you get at home. Sign up today for HP Instant Ink. Save up to 50% on ink delivered right to your door and never run out again. Buy a printer, enroll, print, and start saving. HP Instant Ink, the most affordable way to print.
Excellent. I like those videos. Hope they weren't restating the same. But what's important to know is that you can start or cancel at any time. If you cancel, then you are given the options of going to the store and buying trade cartridges, going to the refill worlds, or
This is
obtaining
the HP
in any way,
don't really know the model number, right?
in any way that you've normally purchased ink or gotten ink before. We'll save this last one for later because there's a new plan there. Okay. Where to begin with this? How do you enroll? You need an HP eligible printer. They're going to be all of our inkjets except two. It won't be the mobile printer, the 200 and the 250. The difference between those two is whether it scans and copies as well as prints. But it doesn't work on the mobile printer, it's not applicable, and on our large tabloid printer, the 11 by 17 printer. Instant Ink doesn't work on those, but on all the other printers, all the Instant Ink programs qualify. We have 3 paid plans. There's actually 3 more beyond these, but there are originally, for the past 6 years, there have been 3 plans, and they haven't changed. $2.99, $4.99, and $9.99. That allows you to print respectively 50 anything, whether it's 50 postage stamps, whether it's 50 8.5 by 11 edge-to-edge borderless photographs, or 50 11 by 14 edge-to-edge photographs. Our competitors will say, "You mean you're going to charge them $2.99 if they don't print anything?" And I go, "Yeah, we are. But they will roll over, but never more than double the plan. If you are in a tier for 50 pages in a month, and you don't use all 50, they will roll over, but never more than double. Don't use it for 2 months, you'll have 100. Don't use it for 3 months, you'll have 100, not 150. You can change the plan at any time. Let's say you're very happy with the $2.99 plan, and you're well within the 50 pages or the rollovers. But 1 month, It's just atypical, and you print an exorbitant amount more than that. If before day 30 of the billing cycle, you indicate that you wish to go to the $4.99 or the $9.99 plan, then that's where you'll be. In other words, on day 30, HP looks back and sees how many sides did you print. 2 sides of one piece of paper is 2 pages. How many sides did you print and what tier were you on day 30? The next day you can cancel if you wish, or go back down. Rollovers go with you as you go up in plans, and rollovers vanish when you go down in plans. That's to stop someone from signing up for a $9.99 plan, not using it for 2 months, and thinking they have 600 pages and then trying to milk it out for a year. HP won't do that. If you go down, you lose the rollovers. The inks that come, as one of the videos mentioned, are not the regular size, not the XL size, they are max size. They are the most amount of ink that can fit into the cartridge. The reason for that is because HP is paying the postage. So they want to send them as infrequently as they have to. You do not have to, and they give an envelope to mail the old cartridges back. In the very beginning, it was critical that you sent the old cartridges back. But for the 4 to 5 years that I know this plan, you do not have to send them back. You can take them to Collier County Solid Waste, you can throw them in the trash, you can take them to a store to see if they give you any sort of credit. Technically, I don't think they're supposed to, but the people that work the registers will not notice that they're an instant ink cartridge. Mail them back is the best way because HP is invested in a closed cycle recycling. 70% of our ink cartridges are recycled material. 100%, by the way, of our toner for laser jets are recycled material. We get millions of these cartridges back every day. It's quite a process. They just grind it. They pull the foam, they slice the top off, they pull the foam out, and they grind the metal and the plastic, and then they separate that and make new cartridges from there. The new changes to the plan have been 2 additional business plans, 500 pages and 700 pages at $14.99 a month and $19.99 a month. And then to further change the picture, there is a plan called Page 5000. If you went to a Staples, the only Staples store in this area that there's 150 Staples stores in the United States that have gotten this Page 5000 printer. It comes with 5,000 pages in the box and no debit or credit card required. It is the only plan that is not required to have a debit or credit card on file. And that means you can print 5,000 anything. 5,000 11 by 14 photographs, 5,000 postage stamps. No time limit on the plan that comes in the box. It comes with an 8710 printer, which is a professional printer. The cost of the printer is usually going for $119 in most stores. It's listed at higher, but it's selling for $119. And the 5,000 pages is worth $150 or 3 cents a page. The Page 5000 in the box is advertised at, comes with 2 years of ink. To me, that's confusing, but it is meant to go against the gigatanks of Canon and the Econotanks of Epson, where they're actually selling ink. All of our plans do not sell ink. We are simply guaranteeing a number of pages, regardless of little ink or max ink. There is no way that I could possibly imagine a competitor's brand that is coming with 2 years of ink that is going to allow you to print 5,000 11 by 14 pages, no matter how they send it to you. Pages are what's a page? The International Standard Organization, ISO pages, have decided what it is. And if you or I were to look at it, it would look like a very sparse memo. So when a printer cartridge says this cartridge will print 380 pages. It's ISO pages. Most of us print way higher than that, but it does give cross-platform a relative comparison across the different manufacturers. Canon, Brother, Epson, Samsung, these are all creditable, market-valid competitors, and they have a reason and a right to be in our stores. We're currently market dominant. We bought Samsung to gain their patents, and we bought Samsung's printers to gain their patents and to use there as our secondary line on our lasers. It's still branded as Samsung. The additional plans require the purchase of a prepaid card. It used to be that we could buy a card in the store for $2.99, $4.99, or $9.99. It began to be problematic in all the stores for all the SKUs. Now we have one card and it has a value of $5. So for example, if you went into a Best Buy, a Staples, or an Office Depot, or an Office Max, and you picked up this card, you would pay $5 in the store. Sometimes the store will comp the card if you buy a printer. Those promotions vary in the month or through the year. And when you register, you give your name, address, email, phone, and a debit or a credit card, but nothing's changed. And within 3 to 5 business days, all the ink that you need arrives at your door. Your printer's ink may have a value of $65. It may have a value of $125. It doesn't matter to HP. They will send you whatever your printer needs in its full, max full cartridges within 3 to 5 business days. So today's Wednesday. If you did it tonight, you might have it Saturday, but you'd have it for sure on Monday, these cartridges. And you're still not charged anything. $5, whether you got the card for free or paid $5, goes into your account at HP Connected, which is the Instant Ink account. They complimentary give you 1 month free. They do not mandate that you put those cartridges in. If you change your mind or life intervenes and you never put them in, you will never see a charge. But the day that you put them in, you begin the calendar of 30 days. Those are free. The next 30 days will eventually erode that $5 in the prepaid account by some value, $2.99, $4.99, or $9.99. The difference being made up from the debit or credit card on file. Therefore, it's minimum 60 days from the date that you put them in before you see a monthly recurring charge that is cancelable at any time of $2.99, $4.99, or $9.99. If you elected the $2.99 plan, then stay with it. It will pull $2.99 and $2.01 stays in the account. The next month it wants its $2.99 again, so it'll take the $2.01 and then it'll charge your debit or credit card 98 cents. If you for some reason don't want it to charge your card, you go to the store and buy another $5 prepaid card and enter that in on the website, and you have $5 more into your prepaid account. There are 2 additional plans besides the 4 that we've seen, and that's the $14.99 and the $19.99, and those require a card that can only get from Staples currently, and it's a $20 prepaid card, and that adds $20 to the plan, and then it functions exactly the same. There's one difference, though, between the free $3, $5, and $10 plans, and that's when the ink is low, when it's 25 or 30% of full capacity, the printer orders the ink. So you open the mailbox one day and you see this brown box and you go, geez, I didn't even know I needed ink. But it knew, and so you have the ink before you need it. So when you're printing and your printer finally stops and says you need to replace your cyan cartridge, it's no more difficult than taking the cyan cartridge out of the box, putting it in, taking the old cartridge, putting it in the prepaid plastic envelope, and you're good to go. On the free $2.99, $4.99, and $9.99 plan, it waits till it's 25% or 30% of full before it sends you the replacement. On the business plans, the $14.99 and $19.99, the moment you insert a cartridge, its replacement is ordered to be shipped, so it comes sooner. It doesn't wait till it depletes. That's for people that are printing quite a bit. And let's see. Are there any questions, by the way, before I go on to that last video? Sure, go ahead.
I have a 6970 printer. That's not listed in your...
The 6900 series, you go to hpinstantinc.com and put your printer number in, but the 6900 series is recent, and that should be...
Is what I can...
It is recent, the 6900.
Okay. And you're also telling me that if I go to the store and buy a cartridge, that it's not full.
If you
So
go to the
I
store,
feel like I'm being cheated.
well, you're buying what they market. They're buying the regular size cartridge, or you're buying an XL cartridge at the stated ISO pages. But there could conceivably be more room in there, more than XL, that HP hasn't put in there. That's a backward reasoning from when I called them the first time and said, "Are you sending XL cartridges?" And the gentleman said, "We're sending max filled cartridges."
Well, I assumed they were max filled to begin with. So I feel like I'm being cheated.
Sorry, I understand the feeling. Inkjet ink is expensive. I think it's between $1,500 and $5,000 a gallon, depending on how you look at it, where it comes from. It's just very expensive. The chemistry justifies it. On the printhead of an inkjet nozzle, there are activities that happen 36,000 activities per second handle, and there are between 24,000 and 42,000 nozzles on that printhead. We just expect it to print. In the Western world, we take print for granted. There's a lot of activity going on there. And back in the mid-90s, I heard, and I can't verify the source, that the development of the individual cartridge was the second largest capital development that HP ever expended, other than the writing of RISC code to write reduced instruction set commands for the software engineers who are writing programs to make these printers run. But when they invented it, it was a large investment. It has proven to be very valuable. I have videos that I could show on what happens on an inkjet cartridge head. It's just fascinating. Go ahead.
Tell me if this question is silly or what. If he's not getting a full, complete cartridge, I mean, the cartridge is coming, he's getting so many pages from that.
Correct.
That's what he's paying for, so
Correct.
many pages.
Right.
If that came full, how much would that cost? In other words, put it this way, you
I would
know.
have no way of knowing because that doesn't exist. The instant ink cartridges come in their
That's what I
maximum
did. I
size
just-
for practical reasons for Hewlett Packard because they're shipping them. Go ahead.
I have an entry level, or I have a wireless HP printer that I've had for a couple of years, 6600 series. I think the cash outlay for it was about $100. If I stay reasonably aware of how my ink is doing, and it gives me warnings, actually warnings way in advance of when I need to replace it, I don't have this problem of running out of ink, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So basically my initial cash outlay is for the printer,
Correct.
which is about $100.
Right.
And it prints, scans, and I guess it faxes. I never use it.
If you have an
What
analog-
is the entry-level printer? What is the price of the entry-level printer that would use this service?
Oh, interesting point. I'm glad you brought that up. The free there is a program for free. If you print 15 or less pages in a month, then it's free. And that only applies to 4 printers that we have that before any discount are under $100. These printers usually sell for $49 and $59. That would be the lowest that I've seen in the stores. Now they list at $99.99, but almost always the stores are selling them for $59 or $69. I've even seen $49.99.
That would be a printer that prints and scans?
Yes,
And
prints,
copies?
scans, copies,
And it's wireless?
They're all wireless. They're all duplex printers. They'll all print on 2 sides. And they will all have an email address, the ability to print with a cable, the ability to be on a Wi-Fi network, and the ability to create its own virtual hotspot.
Okay.
And it would be free for life. One thing I forgot to mention is if you don't change a plan and you go over, what happens? There's $1 that buys a set. In the case of the free plan, it buys 10 pages. and then the $2.99, $4.99, and $9.99 plus 15, 20, and 25 pages respectively. I was very happy with my $9.99 plan at 300 pages a month, and then I began to do legal printing, legal work, closings, signings in another company. And I had my instant ink bill was $48 one month, and I go, wow, how did I do that? Well, it was $9.99 for 300 pages, and then I had 37 sets of 25, which was $37 plus the $9 plus the $10, so that was $48 in that pass. But if I had to buy that ink, it would have been double or more. And when these legal assignments arrive, they happen at 2 o'clock, and they say, can you be in Naples at 5:30, and can you print 500 pages? If I were to run out of ink, I wouldn't be able to make it. So for me, instant ink is a godsend in the legal notary business. Go ahead.
Does it send color specific what you need, or does it send all the colors, and therefore you've got some cartridges that are empty and some that are full?
Correct. The printers that have 4 cartridges, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, when you sign up originally, the whole set arrives. Going forward, it sends the black separately or the 3 colors. All 3 of them, not just the 1 color. On the tricolor cartridge in the black, it sends both originally. And honestly, I can't remember if we get them individually when we get rolling them. I think we get them individually too. I'm not sure. Could be a box set on both. Go ahead.
That was a great question.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and it's odd because my wife uses the tricolor and the black, and I just haven't been monitoring how they come. I know mine come. Go ahead.
2 questions. Besides the level of ink in the cartridge, what other information is captured by the system and reported back to HP?
Page count.
Just page count.
Page count.
No content information is
Correct. The question bears merit because it scans. I mean, it has a scanner, but it doesn't have a scanner at the level of the ink. It has a scanner if it was scanning through. And so that's...
If I'm scanning a piece of information, a private piece of information, I want to scan and print.
Correct.
Does that information get transmitted back to HP as a privacy issue?
Correct. I know the issue is privacy, and no, it doesn't. But when the first part of the question I was responding to, that it couldn't even, because it could never even see what you're printing from the ink cartridge level itself. On the scanning side, the question is more relevant for privacy, and no, they don't.
Is it stored in the printer?
What you've scanned and copied?
Yes.
To my knowledge, it is not scanned. It is not copied into the printer.
No, it is recorded in the printer. That's how it, when you scan a page, the information
It's
is
saved.
Oh, I
recorded.
get what you're saying. How long does it
That
stay
information
there?
is then printed out in the output on stage.
I don't have direct knowledge on it, but my take on it is that after it prints, that it voids itself.
Second question.
HP would be pretty sharp on privacy issues. We're certainly not a dumb company.
I'd like to follow up with this gentleman's question for a moment.
Go ahead.
If I go ahead and sign up for this plan,
Yes.
and I now get this XL cartridge, for some reason it's got more capability than the standard cartridge I would have bought for that printer in the store, then the implication is, I sign up for the plan, I get the larger size cartridge, I go to Costco, let them refill it, I get a lower cost version of ink because I can put more ink into that cartridge.
You're still paying every month.
No, I sign up,
Correct.
1 month, I get my package of cartridges.
Gotcha.
Sayonara HP, I'm not deal with Costco.
At the Sayonara, if you cancel mid-month, unfortunately, they will not give you back the fraction of the $3, $5, or $10.
I don't care.
They will give you service till the end of the month. Then, whether it's full ink, no matter what level of ink, when HP finally vets you and finds out that you don't want this, they will give you a grace period. They will say, are you sure you don't really want this? Really? You're really leaving this? And you go, no, sayonara, I'm out. The cartridges will lock and they will not print. So you can fill them with Costco ink, but they will not print. They're chips.
Not that important.
cartridge.
Right, they're chipped. I mean, you can put them on a scale and go, dang, there's ink in there, and they won't print. Oh, they also marry that printer. You have three same kind of printers. You have three, whatever the model number is, they're identical. And you want to get one instant ink program for all three printers. It's not going to work. It marries the printer once they're put in.
For each printer.
And it's just counting pages. I think it's a godsend. I mean, I'd go home and she would say, Johnny, I need ink. And I go, geez, that's $60. I mean, I was thinking of doing something else with that 60. Not that it killed me, but it was still $60.
If I may follow up one more
Sure.
time. You're following the Gillette model. Why don't you give away the printer and just charge for the ink?
Yeah.
Good, I don't know.
They used to, but they don't anymore.
Right, they don't anymore. Best we could do is go to Walgreens on the first Tuesday, you can save 20%. But
Everybody works.
everyone always thinks that the printer is just a vehicle to buy ink. And if you look at the technology of a printer, all the plastics that are in there, the form and fit, the paper transport, the rubber wheels, the little fine anti-static things that hang, and all of that, that's all Flintstone technology. What happens on that printhead is beyond amazing. Actually, if I can navigate George's, I'll find that video. It's extremely interesting to see what goes on underneath that head. I think it's worthwhile. Let me go show you the two other programs. And you already have an idea of what they are. Oh, George, you got to sign in. Thank you. Sorry. Oh, that is just good.
1, 2, 3, 4.
See, we don't need that because we don't want to print color.
Yeah.
But if we wanted to print color, I want.
That's an interesting point, what you mentioned about printing in color. It doesn't matter what ink you're using. It doesn't matter.
Well, currently it does.
Currently at home, usually it's like,
we
you
print
kids
black
better
and white.
not be printing in color.
You
right?
better not be printing color.
Or I work in offices and we print 50-page proposals, and one was a really neat chart in color, and they would say, okay, you could print page 42 in color, but you better not be printing those 45 pages in
Print
color.
everything black and white.
Right, and that
put
one
that
page
in
you can
color.
replace with color. That's all going with it.
And then when you put the paper down, and you put the paper together and send it.
I want to introduce you to 2 new plans designed specifically for micro business customers. These plans are ideal for customers who print more than 300 pages in a month. Due to this high printing volume, HP recommends an HP OfficeJet Pro printer for customers interested in one of these 2 plans. Now, here's an important note. The only way a customer will be able to enroll in one of these 2 new plans is by using the unique enrollment code for one of these new $20 micro business prepaid cards. The $20 prepaid value is applied to your customer's account the same way the $5 prepaid cards are. This card allows your customers to enroll in all plans except the 50-page plan. Also, since micro business customers print at high volumes, HP wants to make sure they never run out of ink. Whenever they install an ink cartridge, the replacement is sent right away. This ensures that they always have a backup cartridge ready to go. Great savings and additional peace of mind for your high printing volume HP Instant Ink customers.
I just got to show you this. So you do. It's been many years since I've used the Mac, so pardon me. To scroll, I use 2 fingers, George. There you go.
Wow.
Oh, there's tons of. Okay, here we go. Printing essentials.
Wow.
Okay, right here. This is it. Hey, Jack.
He's got a smart on his face.
Yeah, he does.
He got me.
guidance to the engineers designing your printers, the first instruction is that the printer you are designing must not use any cartridge that has ever been used in the history of HP.
I've often wondered that, and I've drunken 100 gallons of HP Kool-Aid, so pretty much. Before I did this, I would buy ink anywhere I could. I'd go to any
You
retailer.
know that inkjet printers use ink,
I'll address that.
but I'm guessing you may not know the technology behind inkjet printing. Let's start with the basic process. Print heads have thousands of microscopic nozzles. Within a nozzle, a thermal element is heated rapidly. The heat causes a vapor bubble to develop in adjacent ink. The bubble bursts, ejecting a droplet of ink from the nozzle. Ink from the reservoir then fills the void, so the cycle can be repeated. That process happens up to 36,000 times a second. Each nozzle is 1/3 the width of a human hair. Pretty incredible, huh? There are two types of ink used in inkjet printing: pigment-based and dye-based. Now, pigment-based ink consists of tiny encapsulated color particles that bond to the top of the paper rather than being absorbed into it. Pigment-based inks are fade, smear, and weather resistant. They create superior text and are perfect for dye.
Buffering.
Yeah.
No, right, no, buffering. It's not paused, because you got the stop bars down there. So it's stop it, play it, and play it.
There it goes. It's,
It's going?
I mean, it's,
That's weird.
you
That will be
can
handled a lot. Now, dye-based inks consist of a colorant that is fully dissolved in liquid. These inks create very vivid colors, making them ideal for photo printing. When you're talking to a customer, find out what their primary printing needs are. If they will be printing a lot of documents, direct them towards a pigment-based inkjet printer. If your customers want to print photos, recommend a dye-based inkjet printer. So, that's a brief overview on the technology behind inkjet printing.
Okay, back to that question about
You
the
know
the
Inkjet printers use ink,
Hello?
but I'm guessing you may know.
Yeah, the obsolescence of cartridges.
please state the question.
Oh, the question is does HP have as a corporate policy to continually create new cartridges so that those of us who in the past have purchased ahead and we have a whole bunch of cartridges and then the printer fails, when we go to the store and try to find a new printer that uses those old cartridges, the salesman goes, nope, don't have it, sorry. You know, get rid of them any way you can. It's not a policy of which I'm aware. And when I look at the videos that explain the technologies, this and more that show, for example, a petri dish of cyan, and a drop of yellow is dropped in the middle, then it looks like a bird seed. It doesn't mix. But in non-HP brands, not suggesting that all the refill worlds and the stores that do this are using these types of inks, but you drop the yellow and the dish turns into a pea green because it's just the chemistry that HP has is, they've convinced me that it's awesome. So when they design a new printer, there's a lot of dynamics. That's a small segue to the Gigatanks and the Econotanks. I don't want to rag on them. They're giving a lot of ink into printers, but their printer selections are related to 2 or 3 printers that have these large tanks. Instant Ink works on all of our printers except for that mobile or the tabloid printer. So if you have a size requirement or a speed requirement or the display of how the controls work, whether it's a touch screen or navigate through, all of those are your own choice. But I lost that train of thought. I'll pick it up. Go ahead.
He describes 2 different technologies for the ink.
Great, pigment and dye.
And if I go to the store, all I see is bottle number 962. How do I tell somebody I want A versus B?
It's built into the design of the printer. That printer is going to be, the printer is not going to be able to accept dye or pigment-based inks.
So I need to select a printer based on my printing needs.
Pretty much, yes.
But from me as an individual, I will print 90% of the stuff black and white,
Correct.
and I want some good color photographs.
Correct.
I am not stuck. I'm limited to what the particular printer I bought has the capability of reproducing.
Yes and no. Yes, in that, yes, you are stuck, but happily stuck. It was, I think happily stuck. Let's see, what year would that have been? 2013. What is this, 18? So I'd say about 5 years ago, HP made a decision. There are many, if you go online, talk to the expert Google, look for the best inkjet photo printer that exists. It's not going to be ours. We made a decision to not go to the level of the professional photographer, those that have the light meters and the Pantone measuring readers that are going to measure every little part of a photograph. We were looking for what you visually could see, and I feel that if I printed the same image on all of our inkjet printers, we would be hard-pressed to tell you which printer it came from. Some scientists probably can. I can't. Visually, they're over the bar. So we don't have the 3 types of gray, 2 types of blacks, and all the 3 colors. We have the 3 colors in a black or the tricolor in a black on our systems. There was a change made. Back in the day, it was Photo Smarts and inkjets and office jets and Photo Smarts. Then we got rid of the word photo and we started calling them NVs. But a year ago, we added photo to the printer. And evidently, I wasn't in the room that decided the nomenclature of the printers, but evidently there was equity in having the word photo. And on 3 printers that HP makes, these are personal printers, not business printers, but personal printers, the word photo is that whereas all of our inkjet printers will print awesome photographs, like that business card I gave you, it's using only the color, not the black. So if there's a dark section, it's only using the 3 colors. On the new 3 photo printers, it is unique in the industry that it's using the dye-based colors and the pigment blacks. So the blacks have a lot more spank to them, and that's why we call them photo printers. In creating that printer, they also created, what I think is a salesman's nightmare, is that all of our other printers will say model number 6550 or whatever. Then it says print, scan, copy, photo, and web. It just says photo printer. So I'll be working with a customer and they'll go, well, that's great for photos, but I want to print a letter. And then I want to run outside and jump off of a road somewhere. Of course it prints, scans, copies, and goes to the web and it does all of that, but the box just says photo. But what it means is that besides having a separate tray with photo paper on board, so you do not need to swap out paper for the photographic paper at all times, that it prints using dye-based color and pigment-based blacks. But on the printer that you have, you can't go to the store and specify dye or pigment. And when I meant happily stuck was that the compromise that they made for that balance gives what I think is an unchallengeably acceptable photograph and an awesome print. It's already built in there. For the purists, maybe it's not right. Maybe it's just not the brand.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Back to the cartridges, to the planned obsolescence. When they design a new cartridge, they're fulfilling it for a lot of new dynamics. And they have to keep a backlog, and I don't know the number of years that they have to keep cartridges in stock for the previous printers. But there is a point in time when the cartridges fall off the edge of the page. It's a common, easy way to the printer running out of ink at the wrong time. Well, the printer's always saying, well, you're getting low, but most people say, nope, that's just HP, they don't want to get more money out of me, there's really ink in there, I'll wait, and I'll wait. And then a need or a demand arises that you didn't plan on, and it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, this something has to be on somebody's desk before stores open in the morning, or you did go to the store, and in the rare chance that our cartridge wasn't there, we're market dominant, so it's more likely our cartridges will be there. Some stores give guarantees that if it's not there, they'll give you something, some perk for it. But in the rare chance that it wouldn't be there, then all of a sudden, it's not your fault, it's HP's fault, and we get dinged in your consciousness, or the printer flies out the window. That's why Instant Ink just really solves it. In all the Instant Ink programs, the free and the 3 paid ones, and these 2 business ones, a debit or a credit card is required. On the page 5000, brand new, 2 months old, only available in 150 stores, no credit card is required. Because that's one of the objections. I don't want to get my credit or debit card. I don't want the Romanians, the Chinese, the Russians, or the Arkansasians, or the Chileans, or whoever is the bad guy of the day having access to my financial information. Another reason on the cartridges, also for the change cartridges, is that HP, and I could find those videos also, that many hackers will break into your network through the printer. So they are, I'm making up a word, super securing the cartridges to prevent that. There's some of the disclaimers on the box. The cartridges in these boxes will work, but going forward, these cartridges might not work as we update the security services in it. But where HP is going with that is not just to lockstep you into buying only HP, which I think is a good idea anyway, but for your own security. HP is really on that level. So I don't think there's any issues on privacy, and on the planned obsolescence of cartridges, I've gotten past that in my own personal life, and I hope that you don't think that HP is out to harm anyone by forcing them into older cartridges. Or, remember that Apple scandal with the batteries, making you buy new phones? I don't think that's what HP is, but I'm not in their corporate office, I'm not in their legal department or their high-end management decision. But they've done so many things so well, the form and fit, the way everything slides and the way the lids close, the weight, everything on them seems to be extremely high quality to me that I don't see replicated across the board in the other brands. Every once in a while, yes, but across the board, I think we just have a build quality that is off, it is through the roof.
What's your average life expectancy of a printer?
That's a very interesting question. I've always kept printers until they really belly up. And I can remember when I bought the printer, and I love my printers, and I had one printer, it wasn't an HP, that lasted forever, and only when in a rented house that I was in, when the roof had a leak, that the ceiling fell on it, that it died. I honestly don't know what the expected life expectancy is. I would say reasonably, I would say 5 to 7 years. And it's not that it will die after that. For example, our photo printers have a duty cycle of 900 to 1,100 pages in a month. Our OfficeJet printers start at 20,000, 25,000, and 30,000 pages in a month. Now that's redline. That's not the recommended usage. The recommended usage is about 3/4 to half of that, but they can take a licking and still keep ticking. So they're very durable printers. I mean, the printer that she showed for those business plans, the 87, 10, 20, 30, and 40, that has a duty cycle of 30,000 a month. And that's the red line on the tachometer. So if you did it at 20,000 a month, you'd be fine with that printer for a long time. HP warrants the products for a year. Almost everyone sells the extended warranties, whether it's Best Buy Geek Squad, if it's under $100, it's $10 for 2 years. If it's over $100, it's either $10 or $20 for 2 years of what you could do to it, not manufacturing. The square trays at Office Depot, and I don't know if Staples does square trade, but those warranties are, I think they're reasonable, because they're just going to take your word for it, and they're going to give you either give you the money back or give you the replacement on the printer. But again, we're looking at 2 and 3 years on those extended warranties, not the 5 and 7 years that those of us who want to use it up, wear it out, or do without. We come from that consciousness that that was how we got well, not that it's going to be a disposable item. If you'll actually go into a store and you're thinking of buying tray cartridges and seeing that a printer with ink in them costs less than the cartridges you would buy for your old printer, throws us into the disposable consciousness. Speaking of that, what's in the box? Each printer comes with its own unique amount of ink. They are starter cartridges. Now, I work in all the chains, and I hear all the stores have different dynamics. I mean, all the salesmen have goals, the attachment goals. They have to sell, they have to sell, they have to sell. So you don't walk out with a printer and not buy paper and ink. Their job is on the line for what they're doing. But, so they will often say, well, I see you bought that printer. Well, I think you better buy, there's only starter cartridges in there. You better go over there and buy a replacement set of ink so you don't run out. Well, they're not going to run out tomorrow at 4:30. Usually, it's a full black, maybe a 92% full on the black. The colors are oftentimes 78% full or 50% full. But in my iPhone, in my iBooks, I have every single data sheet, and on the back of the data sheet it says what's in the box. There's usually hundreds of pages in the box when you buy a new HP printer. Then they're always going to pitch the instant ink because it really does make sense, and it's completely harmless. Other than they have your debit or credit card on file, or if you are super privacy for you to be staying up late at night thinking, did they really somehow see what I printed or scanned, and it's in some huge database up at the NSA. That's the stuff of movies and books.
Yeah.
I think it's physically impossible on the printing side. I have to agree that since it does memorize it as it scans it, it's there at least for a moment, and can they get it? But that's out of my bailiwick completely. I trust them that they're not. Go ahead, sir.
I have an HP printer and I use Costco ink. What am I missing?
What am I missing?
You're happy with it, so I'm not going to throw a stone at it. I was in your consciousness before I came on board here. For me, it's just the comfort of knowing that I'm getting HP quality inks and HP quality images. Now you're going to say, well, what's the difference between my HP quality inks and images and your high quality Costco? Costco is not a chump company. They're huge, right? I honestly can't answer that. Technically, I think it voids the warranty. I know it is not the same formulation. Costco, even in the brochure for the ink, say that it's close, but it's not exact. If it suits your needs, then it suits your needs. But if it works for you, it works.
I'm beyond the warranty.
Then it works. Then stay.
Go for it.
It might be cheaper for instant ink, though, at $2.99. Or if you print less than 15 pages a month, then it's free. Then it's nothing to do with you. Free on the printers that, before discounts, start off at less than $100. And there's like 4 of them. They're nice printers. Yes?
Can you download new firmware to update the printer to make it more secure?
Anytime.
Anytime?
Right. Yeah, you can. Our printers
From the printer menu?
HP
You have to
support.
go through HP Smart.
HP support. Oh, speaking of it, did you say HP Smart?
Yeah.
That's an app on your phone that's free.
I'm talking about my Mac, but that's.
Okay, gotcha. Well, HP Smart is an app on your phone, and the moniker of it is it puts the power of the printer in the palm of your hand. It's a free app, and you don't have to have an HP printer, but you can scan. You have to have an HP printer if you want to wirelessly connect to it. But it will scan from the glass of the connected printer, or it will scan right from the camera of your phone and convert it to a JPEG or a PDF, and you can save it in your phone or email it. But it's a great, I downloaded Adobe Scan, and I had a 30 or 40 page document that I had just done notary work for, and I was outside and I was going to make a copy of it. And I tried the Adobe and I didn't like it, and I went to my HP Scan, which in my HP Smart app, and I just held the phone and I just went like that, went like that, and every time it saw a new page, it imaged it and it made a PDF file and did it really well. Usually the free program for a printer shouldn't be as good as a dedicated scanner. I liked it, that was great. So I like the HP Smart app. And if you have a connected printer, it will connect to the glass that's on the scanner, and it'll show you the ink levels and control the printer from the printer. Yes?
To join this
Program.
copay or printer, do you have to have a certain printer, or can you use the printer you have it?
Most of the printers in the past 6 years, all of the printers now, except for the little mobile and the large tabloid, and it's been that way for 3 years. But the years before that, the first 3 years, there was a ever-increasing variety of printers. So if I knew your model number, I could probably...
78 with 2 more, NV. An
think
HP NV.
I think that qualifies. But you need to go to HP Instant Ink and put your printer number in, and it tells you for sure.
Go to HP's
HP Instant Ink.
Instant Ink.
And look to see if it qualifies. And then registering is, the reason why you register at the store rather than online. The store pays $1 for the card. So if you got the card for free, they lost $1 originally. They will get residuals. They will make far more money selling you trade cartridges. Many store managers vary from really behind us to being against us. There is one Staples store, I can put literature out on a Saturday and I can go back on Monday and it's gone. It's gone. They don't want it. They want you to buy their ink. They will make more in a day selling, in a big box store, ink is 35 to 40% top line profit. Not chairs, not envelopes, not staples, not computers, and definitely not printers. Margins on printers are oftentimes negative. But if you got 1 or 2% on a margin on a box computer or printer, you'd be surprised. They make it up on paper and on ink and on cables. The reason that they even have the cards in the store is so that they can get those residuals. There is nothing stopping you from going to HP Instant Ink out of the blue saying, I don't have a card, and giving them the $2.99 or the $4.99 or the $9.99, or now they're mandating that it's $5. I haven't tried this one yet because the prepaid $5 is new in the last month. That you just put the 5 in there, and that's a balance that erodes, and then when it's eroded, it pulls from the debit or credit card on file. But you just do it online. All the ink comes. Yes, you pay them either $2.99 or $5, and $60 to $120 of ink arrives that they don't make you put in, they don't make you send it back, and if you never put them in, you're never charged. But the day you put them in is when it starts 30 days free, and the next 30 days are billed in arrears, so it's 60 days after you put them in that it has any reason at all to look at your debit or credit card. That you can stop at any time. And then they lock if you don't, at the end of the month, if you don't pay.
If you choose the wrong size of Instant Ink, the $5 versus the $10, does it recognize that and then adjust?
Well, all it is doing, remember the size is only saying how much you're willing to pay every month and how many pages do you want to be incorporated in that. And you could change that all the time.
Why would I pay 10 if I could pay 5?
Because you would want, because if, let's say you were going to print 300 pages.
Yeah.
And you were at the $3 plan. So you get 50 pages for $3. And now we want to go, we need 250 more pages. And you get a batch of 15 for $1. So how many more dollars do we need to get? How do we do this, George? We got 15 pages, and we have to make up 250 pages. So we're looking at, 15 more batches. So now we're looking at $18 that you're paying that month rather than $9.99. Because you get 50 pages for the $2.99, and if you don't change the plan, and you just want to go on the overages, then $1 buys 15 more, 15 more, 15 more, 15 more. So that 1 month, you're happy at the 3 plan, $2.99 minus a penny. You're happy with that, and the rollovers were fine. But 1 month, you do print 300. And instead of you having to pay $18 or $19, before day 30, you go to the $9.99, and it's as if you were there when it printed. They don't look at what plan you are on when it printed. They're just looking at day 30, how many sides did he print, and what tier did he say he was on. And then the next day, you say, no, I don't want him to take $9.99. I'm not going to print anywhere near that. Then you just drop it back down to $2.99. Or, sorry, no, I quit. Then at day 30, even if you quit, say you quit on day 4, and you don't want to do it, but they don't give you the money back, it's still good for the next 30 days, and you run out of ink on day 28, they would have sent you the ink before you needed it, even though they know that, well, they don't know that you're well, yeah, they know that they will give you service no matter what till the end of that day 30. Right. Hi.
Yeah, about 90% of my printing is letters and text, black and white. And probably I do more than 50 pages a month. So a page is a page, whether it's a letter or...
Correct. Whether it's not printed at all, whether it's printed 1 dot, or whether it's borderless color, edge to edge, soaking up an immense amount of ink. A page is a page. We're not selling ink. And that's what sets us apart. All of the stores have mimicked us. Best Buy has Easy Replenish. Office Depot and Staples, Office Depot for sure has their replacement plan. But what they're doing is that they are monitoring when it's low via Wi-Fi, and then shipping you, selling you ink at a discount, usually a 10% discount. So you're not getting ink every month, you're getting ink when it's low. Amazon will sell it to you every month, if I understand. Then you got ink that you're not using. But the Best Buy and the Office Depots will send you ink when you need it, but they're actually selling ink at a lower price, but way more than half. We're not selling ink, we're just giving you pages no matter what you print. Instant ink is beyond comparison when you compare all the plans that are out there. But what the stores want is they want that residual. They don't want you buying the printer at Office Depot and then going to Walmart to buy your cartridges. They want to get something of it. And that was another reason for what's in it for HP for instant ink? Residual income. Residual income is if you own a lake, you could drain the lake. If a lake was money and you could drain it, but if you live next to a river, assuming it didn't dry out, then the river goes on forever. So residual income is a financial concept. It's a stream of money that keeps going, and they love it. And that's why they're working with this. And when competitors come up and say 2 years of ink in the box, and they're charging $400 for the box, you're paying for that ink. And if you read the fine print, it's saying based on 150 to 200 pages a month. We're just straight up front. These are the pages that you will be able to print every month. Page 5000 added no time limit, and that was a new twist. And a good purpose for that would be like an author who constantly is updating their work, but every once in a while they want to print the whole dang thing to see how it looks fresh. So their printing is going to be low, 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 high, low, 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 high. Well, then he's going to have to be changing his inkjet plans, which is not difficult, my instant ink plan, which is not difficult at all. But with page 5000, it doesn't matter. He's going to get 5,000 pages, no time limit. I was surprised last week when I called HP just to call them, and I asked what other plans were available for my $9.99, and they mentioned the $14.99. Didn't mention the $19.99 and the page 5000. And I says, really? I could buy page 5000 for my regular printer? And they go, yeah. And I says, I mean, even if it took me years to use it, because it could take years on the one in the box at Staples. And he goes, no, you have to use it up within a year or you forfeit the pages. Now, I have to look at that one again. But if I'm printing 1,000 pages a month, I'll probably buy a $150 page by 1,000 plan and get over it. It'd be 3 cents a page. That's as low as it gets.
Is there a way to know how many pages your printer is per?
Yep. HP Instant Ink at HP Connected, it shows you like on a mortgage. On a mortgage, it has those big boxes at the top that shows you how many months, what your rate is, how much you're really paying for it. So you can't say, I didn't know. So at the Instant Ink, it tells you when your monthly cycle is, how many pages you have, how many rollovers you have. And if you should ever exceed your balance, it'll send you a text or an email saying, hey, you're at your limit, but we got you covered. And then you know it's going to be $1 for a batch of 15, 20, or 25. Oh, and those roll over too. If you don't use all of the extra batch that you sold for the $1, then they'll keep that.
If letters and pictures, if I want, I'll print a lot of pictures, do they count the same?
Yep, it's a page. It's a page.
It takes what, ink for?
Correct. That is the gem of the whole program. It's not ink, it's pages. So this aversion to printing pictures, literally, on the $2.99 plan, you could print 11, if your printer can support 11 by 14 paper, you could print 11 by 14 pages for $2.99. Go to Walmart, go to CVS, go to Walgreens and print an 11 by 14 photograph. Tell me what it costs.
Right.
Not $2.99.
Right.
And you get 50 of them. That's what's awesome. That's why we like it. How are we doing on time? Oh, go in.
I print one label at a time frequently to address an envelope.
That's a page.
Because the Mac word processor doesn't know how to print envelopes. So each time that'd be a page each time I do that.
Yes, it would be a page.
Right.
Easy envelopes works.
Okay.
Back application.
All right, do that. Another, along the same lines, let's say you had a large Word document and you did a lot of editing, but there were a lot of carriage returns at the end with no text, and you print a blank page, that's a page. If it gets to be an issue, you call up HP, you tell them, look, my printer just barfed and there are 15 blank pages and no more. If it should ever happen that the cartridges dry out, they expedite them to you, but they're not going to dry out. Go ahead.
Talk about labels. Film, do you have your printer, does the label thing go around and do a 180-degree turn and come back out? It seems that nobody makes a printer anymore where you load the paper on the back and it just goes through straight.
We have two. They're the low end. It's a 3830 where it's 120 degrees. It's a one-sided printer, but all of our duplex printers do the 180 turn. But on the 3830, the paper sticks up in the back, so it's subject to dog earing as it stands there, but it's only 120 on the way out.
Thanks.
So,
it just seems that the last couple times I've been in Office Depot, they don't have any from any manufacturer. And I like to do the same.
It's there.
Print one label at a time. But
Right.
I don't know how many times can you put that thing through without damaging the other labels?
without the labels actually starting to peel off. Good question. And there's another, it's about the size of a large Panera loaf of bread, the 3755. It's the smallest all-in-one printer. And that also is, the paper's in the back and it only goes 120 degrees. But all the rest do that, or worse, or more. You will look at it. Go ahead.
I'm a Renegade Canon owner,
Okay.
and the reason is Canon sold me a white printer. I find the aesthetics of the printer important in my home decor. I know this isn't techie, but it's like buying a car. I want to know what color the car is going to be.
Well, our lasers are white, and we have inkjets that are white. But we don't, all of the models is not always a choice. On the professional models that they showed here, those first came in white. Ironically, they were white to begin with, but public demand asked for the black. So they come in both. And for a while, they were at two different price points, which made no sense that they were.
So you have a white.
Right. But there are whites. There are. Yeah, the lasers are all white. And our laser, by the way, not germane to this conversation, but our laser technology 2 years ago went through its largest renovation in 10 years. Smaller, more efficient. You don't have to shake them. They have increased agitators. There's no sliders across them to maintain them. There's only the cartridges that are already pre-installed. Some manufacturers, there's a belt at the bottom. There's a container to catch the extra toner. There's 2 pieces on each of the 4 cartridges. Like there's 10 pieces. Ours are 4. And I work with them. They're right behind me. So I go, well, that's a nice printer. That's a great price point. And I'll print and I'll compare the two and I'll pick, okay, I get it. That's nice. Ours is really nice. So HP has never let me down in terms of the visuals. I understand I'm on an HP laser printer. If you want to ink it up and it's $80, $80, $80, $80, you're looking at $300. But it's like, well, what are you going to use it for? If you're using it for internal office communication, you don't need that. But if you're a realtor and you have it in front of your houses and you don't want the ink to smear and you want people, and you put it on 28-pound, 100 bright paper, the thing is going to jump right out and it's going to be awesome.
Is that it?
That's it for me. Thank you.